Hey friends, I haven't made a video in a while. I was away on military reservice, which is why my hair is shorter. I had to shave, but now it's growing back. And I just wanted to make a video and upload one just to get back in the swing of things. I think I could have made a video a few days ago, but I just didn't feel like doing it because I have been thinking about my book and working on my book. Every day, just book, book, book. And I'm not even, the funny thing is always, I'm not even working on it as much of the time as I would like. I spend a lot of time just keeping it in mind and not working on it. And like if I want to feel good about it, I might tell myself that I'm working on it in my head. But it's mostly the honest. I mean, I'm just avoiding it, right? And I want it to be done. Uh, I do find sometimes even when I just sit down in front of it and I start scrolling, I get tired. I get sleepy. It's like there's a part of me that's afraid of the book, I guess. And it's so funny because this is what the book is about, right? The book is about facing your fears, about introspecting. I've come up with some new phrases that I'm happy with. I realized that one of the ways I want to think about the book is that it's about illuminating the fog, right? Like I'm talking about brain fog, I'm talking about cultural fog, psychological fog, the way you just the kind of blurry, vague ways things about our thinking that make it difficult to navigate, right? And how do you illuminate that, right? You get to peak states of clarity, which aren't, it's like, so clarity is something, in my experience, it's intermittent, right? Some days, some moments are more clear than others. And in those moments, what I did for myself that was good was that I would write, and I would like it's so amazing for me sometimes to look back at my old writing from years and years ago sometimes and just see how lucid I was, how clear. And but these moments of clarity don't endure by themselves. You have to make them endure if you want. And so that's part of what I want to encourage people to do with my book, which is to illuminate the fogs of their thinking. What else? So when I went for military service, before I went for military service, I was very stressed with the book. My shoulders were getting like I hadn't been working out. I just felt like shit all the time, and my body, the stress was manifesting in muscular tension in my shoulders, my hamstrings. And then when I went for military service, like we were moving around a lot and we were carrying stuff, and like I felt this horrible shooting pain in my lower back. And at first I was worried. I was like, oh shit, did I aggravate an old back injury from when I was deadlifting last year? And it turns out, no, it turns out that what actually happened was that my gluteus medius, which is the side of my butt, right, on the right side, was just spazzing out basically. And so the problem was that my hamstrings were tight, my hips were tight, sitting too much, too stiff. And my wife points out that I'm always leaning towards my right. So now I'm trying to lean to my left to kind of compensate for that. And I'm doing squats and stretches and stuff like that. But the back pain was debilitating for a couple of days. And then I did some stretches from YouTube, and from that one is if you want to look this up, one is Athlean X, and the other is Athlean X, and the other is Foundation 12 minutes. If you type in YouTube Foundation 12 minutes, you'll find it. And they're both like a bunch of stretches, like you stretch your legs out and then you twist and all that stuff, and it strengthens. I'm doing like an infomercial now, but it really helped me with a pain that was hurting and stressing me out and making me feel horrible, because I was really wondering, I'm 31 years old, did I just give myself chronic back pain through some stupid way that I don't know what happened? And the knowledge that back pain can be fixed, that knowledge itself is a relief, because when you don't know where the light at the end of the tunnel is going to be, if you don't know where the relief is ever going to come or not, there's this anxiety there. Whereas once you see a path to clarity, you feel better just knowing that you're on the path. And I feel like there's a parallel between that and the book that I'm working on. Like, so what I managed to do for myself was fix the back pain in my psyche, right? Like the load bearing pillars in my mind, in my gut, right, in my consciousness, was out of alignment. And I know that sounds kind of wooey, but it's true in my experience. I managed to realign myself, and like there's the equivalent of doing the stretching and the squats and all those things that you need to do to get yourself in alignment. And so one of the ways I'm thinking about introspect is it's like fixing back pain but for the psyche. I tweeted about it. People don't seem very excited about it, but I like it. I feel like it's I don't know if I'm going to make that the tagline, but it's just something I'm thinking about. So, illuminating the fog, collaborating with your past and future selves, the humanizing feeling of collaborating. Do I want to talk about it's like 5 minutes? Uh, I'll just riff really quick about collaboration and the humanization of collaboration. So a project. What is a project? One of the titles of my book that I'm considering is it's introspect. It's about the project management of the soul. What is project management? What is a project? And I define a project. So I was looking up the definitions of projects, and the thing that I felt was missing from all the definitions is that, in my opinion, a project is something that cannot be undertaken by a single individual in a single session. Meaning, it has to be something that requires at least, 2 sessions worth of effort. Like you can't, so like a blog post that you write in one sitting is not a project. It's a thing that you wrote. Whereas running a blog, trying to write 100 blog posts, 1,000 blog posts, that's a project because you have to keep doing it. You have to collaborate with your future selves. You have to collaborate across different emotional states that you have. You have to make predictions about your future self's behavior. And that's not very easy to do because whatever predictions you're making now is typically informed by however you're feeling right now. So, very often people get excited late at night when they're in bed and they're like having grand plans for what they want to do. And then they wake up in the morning and they're tired and bleary and they don't feel like doing anything. And like collaborating across those states is challenging. And now that I think about it, one of the things that I do from time to time that was really good for me was I would be writing in a notepad next to my bed before I go to bed. And when I wake up in the morning and I see my previous night's writing, there's like a synchronization that happens, and it's humanizing. That's the thing that's kind of surprising for me. And I'm thinking about like how, you play a team sport with other people and you pass a ball around. It feels good. It feels good to share something with other people, to give something to them and then receive it in return, and you have that shared understanding and like, oh, we both understand each other in this domain, in this narrow game that we're playing. We both understand what we're both trying to do, and it feels good because it's like you expand your sense of self from beyond yourself to the other person as well, because you're both participating in this shared thing. And I'm making the case that if you do any project that's substantial, you have to collaborate with yourself. And if you successfully collaborate with yourself, that feels really great. If you fail to collaborate with yourself, you feel smaller, you feel weaker, you feel less powerful, you feel like you can't predict your own behavior. It's like a psychic prison, right? And so again, I'm trying to teach people how to break out of their psychic prison and collaborate with themselves. But part of my tension here is that I'm not like a master at this. I'm just some guy. I'm just some guy who's gotten better at this, and I want to share and help other people. But I'm not a master. And I agonize so much about it in text, but when I say it out loud, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, just say it and then be done. Like whatever people complain, let them complain, and then we can make adjustments if we want. So, do I feel better now about working on my book? Maybe. I'm gonna go and do it now. I guess I'll try. And I hope you guys are well. It's been a while. Take care. Cheers. Done.